Fundamental. Now we discuss fundamental duties, important topic. Okay, so here rights and duties of the citizens and collective and inseparable. The origin of the constitution. Content only the fundamental duties. So here now we discuss fundamental duties because this topic is very important for prelims and mains perspective. So please see it, and I think it's a very important topic. So let's start. So, so fundamental rights are not the fundamental duties. So rights and duties of the citizens are collective and inseparable. The original constitution contained only the fundamental rights and not the fundamental duties. So original constitution contained only the fundamental rights, not the fundamental duties. And in other words, the framers of the Constitution did not feel it necessary to incorporate fundamental duties of the citizens of the Constitution. So, however, they incorporated the duties of the state in the Constitution in the directive principle of the state policy. So, they incorporated the duties of the state in the Constitution in the form of directive principle of state policy. Later, 1976, the fundamental duties of citizens were added in the Constitution. So later in the 1976, the fundamental duties of the citizens were added in the Constitution in 2002. So in 2002, the one more fundamental duties are also added. So please remember. So here we study fundamental duties. Okay, please remember. So here fundamental duties. So we study fundamental duties. So framer of the Constitution did not fail to incorporate the fundamental duties of the citizen, but they incorporated the duties of the state in the Constitution in the form of directive principles of state policy. Later, 1976, fundamental duties of citizens were added. The Constitution 2002 fundamental duties were added. So added 1976, and then uh, one more added 2002. The fundamental duties of the Indian Constitution are inspired by many of the Constitution. It's called USSR. Okay. None of the constitution of the democratic countries like USA, Canada, Japan, Australia are and so on specifically contain a list of duties of the citizens. So here none of the constitution. So not to describe specifically list of duties of the citizens. Japanese constitution is perhaps the only democratic constitution of the world which contains the list of duties of the citizens. So Japanese constitution is important. So okay, so here Japanese constitution is important, and it is the only democratic constitution. So the socialist countries, on the contrary, gave equal importance of the fundamental rights and duties of the citizens. Since the constitution is obvious to the USSR declared the citizens' exercise of their rights and freedom was inseparable from the performance of their duties and obligations. So USSR declared mainly its exercise of the rights and freedom of the inseparable from the performance of their duties and obligations. So Soren Singh Committee recommendations 1976, the Congress Party set up by the Soren Singh Committee to make recommendations about the fundamental duties, the need and necessity which was felt during the operation of the internal emergency 1975-1977. The committee recommended the inclusion of a separate character. So 1976, the Congress Party set up a Soren Singh Committee making recommendations the fundamental duties and internal emergency. Here you can see necessary for which was fueled during the operation of the internal emergency. So 1975 to 1977 this time, and the committee recommended the inclusion of a separate character of the fundamental right duties of the constitution. The committee selection committee recommended the recommendation inclusion of the separate chapter on the fundamental duties of the constitution. It states the citizen should be becomes the conscious of that in addition to the enjoyment of rights, they also have certain duties to perform as well. The Congress government, the government at center accepts these recommendations and enable the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. So here the Congress government at center accepted the recommendation, Sovereign Committee recommendation, and enacted the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. This amendment act added the new part, partly part 4 of the Constitution. The new part consists of only one article. So particular new article, only one article consists Article 51, in which for the first time specified a code of the 10 fundamental duties of the citizen. So Article 51 was the first time the code of the 10 fundamental duties of the citizen. Article 51, please remember. And the ruling Congress party declared non-inclusion of fundamental duties in the Constitution as a historical mistake, and claimed that what the framers of the Constitution what the framers of the Constitution failed to do. The Sovereign Singh committee suggested the Saran Singh committee suggested the incorporation of the eight fundamental duties of the Constitution. The 42nd Amendment Act of 1976 included the 10 fundamental duties. So, 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. So, Saran Singh committee suggested the incorporate eight fundamental duties in the Constitution, and 42nd Amendment Act 1976 10 fundamental duties. Interestingly, certain recommendations of this committee were not accepted. Certain recommendations of the committee were not accepted by the Congress party and hence not to incorporated in the constitution. These include: the parliament may provide for the imposition of such penalty or punishment as may be considered appropriate for any non-compliance with refusal to observe any of the duties. So parliament may provide imposition of such penalty and punishment as may be considered appropriate for any non-compliance and with or refusal. So here the parliament can provide. So here is certain recommendations. Certain committee were not accepted by the Congress party. So okay, not incorporated by the constitution in the constitution. The parliament may provide for the imposition of such penalty punishment as may be considered appropriate for the non-compliance with or refusal to observe any duties. No law imposing such penalty punishment shall be called in question in any court on the grounds of the infringement of any fundamental rights on the grounds of repugnancy of any other provision of the constitutional. Duty of pay taxes should be also the fundamental duty of the citizen. So, sorry. Next, to discuss its topic, its other topics. So, model duties. So, here is Sovereign Committee. Please remember 1976 42nd Amendment Act included here, and if the Congress party not incorporated the Constitution, certain recommendation not accepted by Congress party, and here you can duty of pay taxes and others. Penalty and punishment also called question of any court, infringement of fundamental rights, duties. And again, so list of fundamental duties. According to 51A, Article 51A itself, the duty of the every citizen of India to abide by the Constitution and respect of the ideals and institution, to abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals and institution of the national flags and national anthem, to cherish and for noble ideals and inspire the national struggle for freedom, to uphold and protect sovereignty, unity, integrity. So list of fundamental duties. So national flag and national anthem, we can respect them, respect and noble ideals, to cherish noble ideas and follow the noble ideas and inspire the national struggle for freedom, to uphold the protect and sovereignty, integrity of India, to defend the country and international service when called upon to do so, to defend the country and render national service also called to do so, to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood, to promote harmony and spirit common brotherhood, you can see. Okay, and to defend the country and render the national service equal to do so, to promote harmony and spirit of common brotherhood, common people and common people of India, and transcending religious, linguistic, national and regional and sectional diversities, and to promote, renounce, practice and derogatory to the dignity of the woman, to value, preserve and rich heritage of the countries and composite culture, to protect, improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, reserve, rivers and wildlife, and to have compassion the living creature. So to develop scientific temper and humanism and spirit of inquiry and reform, to safeguard public property and abjure violence, to strive towards excellence in all spheres of the individual and collective activity, so that so that nation consistently rise. So here excellence and sphere to strive towards excellence in sphere of individual and collective activity. So the nations constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and to achievement to provide opportunities for education to a child and or what between the age of 6 and 14 years. The duty was added by the 86th Amendment Act of 2002. The features of the fundamental duties following the novel noted the characteristic of the fundamental duties. To some of the are moral duties, of while others are civic duties. So, for instance, changes noble ideas of freedom struggle is a moral aspect, and respecting the constitution, national flag, and anthem. So, you can for instance, cherish noble ideas and ideals and freedom struggle and more is a moral perspective. Okay, so here you can see all the things. Some of the moral duties with while others are civic duties. To respect national flag and national anthem. So you can see all the things. So here they refer to such values which have been a part of the constitution, mythology, religious practice, and other essential content, certification, task, integral of the Indian way of life, and like some of the fundamental rights which extend to all persons, whether citizens or foreigners. The fundamental duties are confined to citizens only and do not extend the foreign to foreigners. Like the principle, the fundamental duties are non-justiciable. The Constitution does not provide them for their direct enforcement by the courts. Moreover, there is no legal sanction against their violation. However, the Parliament is free to enforce them with suitable legislation. So, like the treatments of the fundamental duties are non-justiciable, okay, and the constitution does not provide them to direct enforcement by the court. Moreover, there is no legal sanction for against their violation. So, the parliament is free to enforce them with suitable legislation. Criticism of the fundamental duties. So, the fundamental duties mentioned in Part 4 of the Constitution have been criticized in the following grounds. The list of duties is not exhaustive. The list of duties is not exhaustive as it does not cover other important duties like casting vote, paying taxes, family planning, and so on. In case of duty to pay taxes was recommended by Soren Singh Committee. Some of the duties are vague, ambiguous, and difficult to be understand to a common man. For example, interpretation can be given the noble ideas. Phrases of the different interpretation can be given the noble ideas, composite culture and scientific temper, also so on. And they have been described by the critics were of moral prospect due to their non-justiciable character. And it's interesting, the Soren Singh Committee had suggested the, for penalty or punishment for the non-performance of the fundamental duties. Their inclusion of in the constitution was ingested by the state critics as super players. This is so so here so Sorensen Committee had suggested the penalty of punishment non-performance of the fundamental duties. Their inclusion of the constitution was described by the critics, super players. This is because the duties of the included in the constitution and fundamental would be performed by the people of even though they were not incorporated by the in the constitution. The critics said that the inclusion of the fundamental duties as an appendage to Part 4 of the Constitution has reduced their value and significance. This would have added Part 3 of the and to keep them on par with the fundamental rights. Some significance of the fundamental duties so significant in spite of criticism, the opposition for the fundamental duties are considered significant from the following viewpoints. They serve as a reminder to the citizens that while enjoying their rights, this would also be the conscious of the duties they owe to their country, the society, and to their fellow citizens. They serve as a warning against the anti-national and anti-social activities and like burning the national flag and destroying public property and so on. So it is significant. So here you can see. So enjoying their rights should be also be conscious of the duty of the way their contrary the society follow and their fellow citizens. They serve as a source of inspiration for the citizens and promote a sense of discipline and commitment among them. The great feeling of the citizens, okay, and the participation and realism of the national goals. Mm, they help the uh, they help the courts for in examining and determining the constitutional validity of law. And in 1992, Supreme Court ruled that determining the constitution of law of any law in if a court finds that the law is in question seeks to give effect to a fundamental duty, it may be considered such law to be reasonable and in relation to Article 14, Article equal to below Article 19, 6 freedom, and thus save such law from unconstitutionality. They are enforceable by law. The Parliament can provide for the imposition of an appropriate penalty and punishment for failure the fulfillment of any of them. Sorry. So So H.R. Gokhale, the other minister, gave the following reasons. So, incorporating the fundamental duties of the Constitution after 26 years of the inauguration, imposed independent, particularly the emergency in June 1975. A section of the people showed no annexity to fulfill the fundamental obligation in respect to established is legal order. So here Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister, justified the inclusion of fundamental duties in the Constitution and argued that their inclusion would help in strengthen democracy. The provision, so here you can see, so here he established democratic balance by making people conscious and equally of their duties equally as they had concerns of their rights. The position of the parliament strongly opposed. The position of the parliament strongly opposed the inclusion of the fundamental duties in the constitution of the Congress government. However, in the Janata government headed by Morarji Desai in the post-emergency period, renewed annual the fundamental duties. Notably, the new government sought to undo many changes and introduce the constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976, the 42nd Third Amendment Act of 1977, 44th Amendment Act of 1978. So here you can see Morarji Desai down to the counter government first in emergency time. So and in fundamental duties, notably the new government sought under changes of the introduced Constitution of 42nd Amendment of 1976 and 43rd Amendment Act of 1977 and 44th 1978. So this shows that there was an eventual consensus of the necessity of the undesirability of including the fundamental duties of the Constitution. So here this is clear with the addition more. So here one more fundamental duties in 2002 86th Amendment Act. So Burma Committee observation. Burma Committee on the Fundamental Duties of the Citizen 1999 identified the existence of the legal provision of for the implementation of some of the fundamental duties they are mentioned below. That is the fundamental duties of the citizens identified legal provision to implement them. The provision of insult of National Honor Act 1978 prevents disrespect of the Constitution of India and national flags and national anthem. So prevents of insult National Honor Act. Various criminal law in force provide the for punishment for. So various criminal law in force provide the punishment for the encouraging enmity between the enmity between different section of people on grounds of language, race, and place birth. So here you can see. So here the Indian Penal Code IPC also declare the imputation of the assertion of the prejudicial of national integration as punishable offence. And the Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955, Burma Committee never discussed. Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955 provides the punishment for the offenders related to the caste and religion. And Indian Penal Code they declare the imputations, assertion, and prejudicial of national integration and as punishable offence. The Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1965 provides for the declaration of a communal organization or unlawful association. Unlawful Activities Act 1976 67 provides for the declaration of a communal organization of an unlawful association. The Representation of People Act 1951 provides the disqualification of the members of the parliament and the state legislature for including the corrupt practices. That is something they're soliciting votes on the grounds of religion and promoting equal enmity between the different sections of the people on grounds of the race, caste, language, race, and so on. Anti-Representation of People Act 1951, the disqualification of the members of parliament or a state legislature for including the corrupt practices, soliciting votes, and on grounds of religion, and promoting enmity between different sections of the people on ground of race, caste, etc. Religion. The Wildlife Protection Act 1972 prohibits the trade and rare and endangered species. Unlawful Activities Act 1967, Prevention Act of 1967 provides the declaration of the communal organization of the unlawful activities. As in Indian penal codes, declares the interpretation, assistance, judicial, and national integration of as financial offence. So next, so complete now.